early votes, those mail-in ballots that have come in. We're about 8 o'clock tonight here local time, 10 o'clock your time. We'll get the first batch of those that have been tabulated, about 1.2 million, but they have hundreds of thousands more they're still going through. And now part of this process, you see people sitting at those tables. It's a Republican and a Democrat, or a Democrat and an independent. It's two people from different parties, and independents here make up about a third of registered voters in Maricopa County, and they're going through batches of 200 at a time, taking them out of the envelope, making sure the barcode of the ballot matches the envelope, making sure there's no damage to the ballot. Then it can move on to the tabulation process. So this is a tedious, slow process. It's part of why it takes Arizona consistently so long to count all of the votes. We expect it will be 10 to 13 days before every vote in the state of Arizona has been counted, because so much of this state votes early by mail. We can also tell you the polls closed at the top of the hour here, except for 9 polling places in Apache County. That's a small county in northern Arizona, because there were some issues there. But we're waiting for this first update here in about a half hour, Nora.
Chris Van Cleve, thank you very much. Let's go now to congressional correspondent Scott McFarland with the other big story tonight, control of Congress. Good evening, Scott.
Yeah, good evening, Nora. We're going to see some history in the U.S. Senate tonight. We are likely to double the number of elected African-American women to the U.S. Senate in American history tonight. CBS News projects in Delaware. Lisa Blunt Rochester, a 3-term House member from Delaware, is on a trajectory to win the U.S. Senate seat over the Republican Eric Hansen. Lisa Blunt Rochester would be the 3rd elected African-American woman in U.S. history for the U.S. Senate. And we go over to Maryland. Could get a 4th. Too early to project a winner here, but the Prince George's County, Maryland executive, Angela Also Brooks, off to a good start against the 2-term Republican governor, Larry Hogan, in that race. So it would be a total of 4 all-time elected African-American women to the U.S. Senate. Carol Mosley Braun of Illinois, if Angela Also Brooks holds on, if Lisa Blunt Rochester holds on, and number 4, familiar name tonight, Vice President Harris from California, Nora.
All right, Scott McFarland, thank you very much. And we have a CBS News projection at this hour. Florida has rejected adding a state constitutional amendment guaranteeing access to an abortion. That needed 60% of the vote to pass. And Margaret, this is a victory for Governor Ron DeSantis in that state. And now, doesn't it mean that most of the South has very restrictive abortion policies?
Very restrictive. And for this state, it is also important because Donald Trump endorsed the no. So he has staked out a position. When he said he sent it back to the states, this was the result in the state of Florida. They fell short of the supermajority, that 60% benchmark. First state to hold a referendum like this where reproductive rights were restricted, not expanded.
And failed. All right, Margaret Brennan, thank you. And when we come back, new results. CBS News America Decides. Election 2024 returns in just a moment.